Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Highlysober Hangout movie review sneak peek. My name is Gerald Yelverton, and I'll be your host for the day. And on this series, we talk about movies that are currently in the theater. And today, we're talking about the 2013 action-adventure fantasy Thor: The Dark World, directed by Alan Taylor, written by Christopher Yost and Christopher Marcus. Thor: The Dark World stars Chris Hemsworth, Natalie Portman, Tom Hiddleston, Anthony Hopkins, Rene Russo, Idris Elba, Kat Dennings, Stellan Skarsgård, Christopher Eccleston, Jamie Alexander, Zachary Levi, Ray Stevenson, and Tadanobu Osono.
After all this time, now you come to visit me, brother. Why? To mock?
I need your help. But I wish I could trust you.
If you did, you'd be the fool I always took you for.
Some believe that before the universe, there was nothing. They're wrong. There was darkness, and it has survived.
What's gonna happen?
I gave you my word. I would return for you.
We face an enemy known only to a few.
Known only to one.
You must be truly desperate to come to me for help.
If we do nothing, they will destroy us.
You even think about betraying him.
And I'll kill you. That was from New York.
I like her.
Thor, your bravery will not ease your pain. Your family, your world will be extinguished.
We're running out of time.
The very fabric of reality will be torn apart.
I'll find a way to save us all.
All yours.
Anyone else?
Faced with an enemy that even Odin and Asgard cannot withstand, Thor must embark on his most perilous and personal journey yet, one that will reunite him with Jane Foster and force him to sacrifice everything to save us all. I was highly anticipating this film. Like I talked about in the Rush sneak peek, Chris Hemsworth and Thor are my favorite part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, this is pretty much like Thor 3, because there was the original Thor, and then the Avengers was basically a direct sequel to Thor, just because, Tom Hiddleston and playing Loki was the main villain, and a lot of the characters from Thor were in it. I think even more so than any of the other heroes. And then now we have Thor: The Dark World. Now, Thor: The Dark World picks up literally right after where the Avengers end, because Thor is taking Loki back to Asgard, and Loki is sentenced to prison, and Thor is still not the king of Asgard, and an enemy from long before comes back, the Dark Elves, and they want to take over, Asgard, and Loki gets free, and it's Thor and Loki pretty much working together to beat this larger threat. Thor heads back to the United States I guess they rebuilt the bridge so that they can go to other places, and it's a really, really good movie. I loved it. I saw this movie, I think either 2 or 3 times now. It's really funny. The movie, once again, lives and dies with Tom Hiddleston, who plays Loki, who is probably one of my favorite villains, just in comic book movies, period. I'm not sure if that's really a good thing, because I know in my theaters both times people were cheering for Loki, so I don't think they really see him as a villain. They're kind of like the villain that they just, I don't even know if they love to hate him. People love him. Chris Hemsworth does a really good job. You can see the layers and the growth in character since the first Thor, when he was too immature to take over the throne, and now he's loved and he's lost, and he goes back, and you really get the Thor character. One thing that's interesting in this being the follow up to the Avengers is, in this one, Thor is he's kind of depressed because he doesn't have the woman that he's with. But you didn't really see that in the Avengers. In the Avengers, he was the same Thor from Thor 1. Even though, he couldn't get to see Jane, which is actually funny, because if Thor came back to, New York and was fighting in the Avengers, and so he could get back to Earth, at no point in time did he ever go see Jane, and he doesn't see her until this movie picks up, which they actually allude to. Jane's like, I saw you, in New York. So it was pretty cool. But Chris Hemsworth does a really good job carrying this series, and he has a lot of help. Like I said before, I think a sequel, what you really need to do is raise the stakes, and you have to have great character development and a reason for the story. And you have to really build on the characters that you have and introduce some new ones, and they really do that. Idris Elba plays a bigger part. Rene Russo, who was basically non-existent in the first Thor, has a really, really good role in this, and Anthony Hopkins does a great job. Natalie Portman does a good job. It's interesting, this Jane character, because you have this award-winning actress, Natalie Portman, and she has this character, but she's not left to really do a lot. She's just kind of the ingenue. She's just the pretty girl who's in peril, and I don't read the Thor comics, so I don't know if she's like that there, or if that's just the way that this film universe is taking her. But I like to see her do more. And on that point, Jamie Alexander, who plays one of Thor's companions, Sif, she's kind of like a warrior, and it seems like she should be a love interest for Thor. And I was told that in the comic book she is that way, but you don't really see. They don't show that in this movie series, and it seems like there is a storyline there. I don't know if it was in the script and they shot it, but in the theatrical edit, this is what they edited it down to. But you feel like there should be there more, because there are looks that she gives Jane, and it's even alluded to by his father, where you should see what's right in front of your face, and things like that. So I wonder what's up there, and if we at any point we will ever get into that whenever the third Thor or Avengers 2 comes out, what role these characters will play. Tom Hiddleston, Loki. Wow. He had a lot of laughs. There was a lot of cheering for him. I'm just kind of all encompassed by him when he's on the screen. This is fun because Loki is the villain of the series, but there's still this this family element to this film, which I think really makes this story engaging, because it's not only a superhero film, but it's a brother film, a father son, mother son. It's you really get more in that family element where Loki belongs but doesn't belong, and now you have this bigger threat in a villain, and you got like two villains squaring off, and Tom Hiddleston does a great job. There's he's so fluent, and you really get the brother dynamic between him and Chris Hemsworth. And there's this one scene where Loki is changing into all these different people, and at one point there is a cameo by Captain America, Chris Evans, and man, the theater just broke out laughing and cheering. It's great. Tom Hiddleston really does a great job, and his character is really represented well in this. Rene Russo, like I said, has a greater part. Idris Elba has an awesome scene. He's great in this, and it'd be cool if we could see him do more. There's this universe is so blessed with great characters and great actors that at any time, if they want to develop these characters more, I think they're in great hands because it's such a great cast. Kat Dennings and Stellan Skarsgård are funny in this, as Jane's companions on Earth, and they really hold it down in this movie. Kat is great. Stellan is hilarious. The antics. It's funny because even the first one felt like two different films, because when you're on Asgard, it's like very legendary and it's really cool, and it's very epic, and then when you get to Earth, it's kind of like this romantic comedy. I've heard a lot of people describe Thor as the Twilight or romantic comedy chapter in the Marvel universe, and I guess you can call it that. I mean, you have Chris Hemsworth and you have Tom Hiddleston. So even in my theater, and the times that I saw it, there were a lot of teenage girls there because it is Chris Hemsworth, and it is kind of like this love story, and these two star-crossed lovers, this kind of Romeo and Juliet aspect of two people who want to be together, but they're from two different worlds and they just can't. But yeah, it was really good, and when you're on Earth, it does feel like more of like a comedic movie. Talk about Jamie Alexander and Ray Stevenson and that whole clique. They're really cool. So all the characters that you meet in the first one, all their roles are heightened in this one. So it's great battle, great effects. I mean, the end battle is really cool because, they start, like, this battle literally lasts through all the realms. Like, they fight on Earth, and then they go to another world, and they're on Asgard, and you really get to see what Thor can do. And there's this whole sequence during the fight where Thor is fighting, and he's calling for his hammer, but they're going through all these portals, jumping through the different realms, and the hammer starts coming towards Thor, but Thor goes into another realm, and then the portal closes, and the hammer loops up and tries to come back around, but it goes to a different realm. So it was just the final battle was incredibly epic. It was incredibly epic. Thor: The Dark World. I definitely recommend this. I would give it 4 out of 5 stars. Disney and the Marvel Cinematic Universe are really, really doing great things in our follow-up to the hit that was Avengers. And at the end, they're Disney and Marvel are famous for their credit scenes and extra scenes, and there's a scene where they're setting up Guardians of the Galaxy with Benicio del Toro. I'm not really familiar with Guardians of the Galaxy, but this was weird. It felt like a totally different story. Jamie Alexander and like Ray Stevenson are taking, this gem to the I guess the keeper, and it's Benicio del Toro, and it just looks like a really bad, like, the set looked like the Power Rangers. It was just weird. And I'm not sure how familiar the main public is with Guardians of the Galaxy, because there was really no reaction to it. There was a couple people that were like, "Ooh," and I knew that it was coming just because I listened to a bunch of different podcasts and internet casts on movies, and a lot of them talk about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So you kind of knew it was coming, but it was not really excited for it. But yeah, all in all, Thor: The Dark World, really good movie. Clocks in at just under 2 hours at 112 minutes. Definitely worth seeing. Now, I saw this movie, I think I saw it once in 3D, and then the other times I didn't see it in 3D. You don't really need to. I mean, the end scene is pretty cool, but other than that, I mean, you can go watch this movie and save some money and just see it in a regular theater. There are so many good things that are out right now. PG-13, a budget of $170 million in the U.S. alone. It's grossed $195 million, 85 in its opening weekend. So yeah, it's a great movie. 4 stars. I'm Gerald Yelverton, Highlysober Productions. You can check us out on the web, Facebook, at Twitter, at Highlysober, highlysoberproductions@gmail.com if you want to email us. And till next time, thanks for being awesome.
Be alright.